Yo, what's going on, guys? Poizesto back for some more Pokemon Masters, and today we're going to be talking about the Singrids and what it is, how it works, and how move level affects it. So let's just jump straight into this. So what exactly are Singrids? Singrid is a feature that is added that essentially allows you to give your units different abilities and different stat buffs if you spend this currency called sync orbs. Now I'm going to be showing you guys a couple of different Singrids just to give you guys an example of what you kind of should be aiming for in the long run, what units you definitely want to prioritize, and yeah, so let's just jump straight into this. So the first unit I've got right here is Skyla, and I've actually reset the Singrid just to give you guys an example of how this works, and maybe I shouldn't have done it this way. In fact, let me just start off completely off the rip. So let me reset this for you guys just to show you completely how it works. So when you have a unit, that Singrid is not going to start off like this. Some of these nodes in the far left, like the golds and the pinks, will 100% be locked for your Skyla if you're a new player. And the reason this is because your move level hasn't increased. So if you want to be getting these cooler abilities like the fanfare or the potion MP refreshes and the potion master healers, you're going to be wanting to increase your move level of your unit. You might be asking, well, how do I do that? Well, you go into this section here called move level, and excuse me, in this game there's this thing called candy. Now candy can be acquired from a variety of different ways. It's actually really cool now because back in the day they were like super rare, but I'm hoping they're going to continue this trend because it looks like pretty much every event that's going on we are getting candy rewards. For example, with this Steven fight, one of the rewards, it wouldn't let me see the reward again, unfortunately not, but one of the rewards was candy for both of the different fights, and I don't think I've finished this legendary event one. So yeah, look, there's still a candy available for me right here. So these candies are what allow you to level up your unit's move level, and with every move level you unlock a tier of like the Singrid. Essentially all you need to remember, guys, is once you get to 3 move level you unlock the full Singrid. And these candies change, so you can sometimes get a support candy, a striker candy, or a tech candy, and they also vary in star level. So obviously this is a 4-star move candy, so I can only use this on a 4-star striker. So for example, I could only use this on Kingdra. I couldn't use this on Swanna, who is a support. Swanna is not a striker, so I couldn't use this on her, right? So over time, from playing the game and hopefully building a large roster and being able to beat some of these pieces of content, you'll acquire some candy and you'll be able to invest it into your units. And once you do have enough candies and you get to level 3 on units such as Skyla and Haxorus, you can start seeing the full potential of these units. And Singrid is one of the coolest things that changed the game up for me. I remember when it came out, it was such a cool addition. Early on, you know, a lot of them were just these base nodes and none of them had like full Singrids, but when they started adding more and more, it just became insane. Like some of the best units in the game are free to play, which is why I'm saying like this game is very free to play friendly, because if you just get these candies over time and power up your Swannas, your Misties, your Torkoals, your Haxoruses, you can pretty much beat most of the game without even needing to pull on Gacha. But everyone loves pulling, so everyone's gonna pull, and some of the units that you pull have insane Singrids. Units like Houndoom have some of the most nice Singrids with like foul play and dirty fighting, just making it like completely insane how much of a power increase they get from those effects. So let's start, you know, leveling up my Swanna and giving you guys an idea how this works. So in the top left you see we have remaining energy. Now remaining energy is corresponding to the amount of nodes I'm able to acquire. each node requires a different amount of energy, and it's stated in the top right here where I'm clicking. Energy 7, energy 2, energy 10. And I think it's universal that the red is 7. No, it's not. It's not universal. So different red nodes can cost different amounts. So that's something to keep in mind. And different gold nodes can cost different amounts. So that is something to keep in mind when you're doing your builds. But these inner ones cost absolutely no energy. So they're pretty much just always free stat buffs that only cost this currency right here, the sinkhole currency. And you might be like, damn, how'd you have all this sinkholes for Swanna? Well, you can go ahead and press this exchange button right here to the right of it, and these co-op sinkholes are farmable now in the trading area. So that is one thing I highly recommend you do. Like, no matter what, daily, if there's one thing you want to be spending your stamina on, it's the co-op sinkhole island, because what that lets you do is farm up these sinkholes, and you're gonna have thousands. Like, by the time you finish story and it's time to actually start using sinkholes, you're gonna have so many stocked up, and you're gonna be ready to exchange and get so many of your units leveled up. And especially if you've been pulling on the gacha and you start getting lucky and getting like 2 out of 5 leaf, or 2 out of 5 red, or 3 out of 5 red, or even 3 out of 5 blastoise or whatever, you're gonna be able to just use it on those newer pools and make them completely broken and insane. So yeah, that is how you exchange it. And for every 1 point, so for every 1 sinkhole, it's gonna cost 10 co-op orbs. So it is kind of pricey. So that event gives you, I believe, 900. So you're only getting 90 points, but 90 points is enough for a decent amount of things. It's not enough for one of the gold pieces, but it's most of the time enough for the pink pieces. They normally don't go above 90. Gold, I believe, is always 120 no matter what. So that is something to keep in mind, that gold is always pretty expensive most of the time. It actually can differ. As you can see, this is 84. So yeah, maybe it's actually not always. Yeah, I think just double check. Like, it's actually really interesting to me, because when I'm doing this video, I'm also learning myself. So it's not always exactly the exact amount, but you can see the amount that it costs to the right of it. So this costs 120, this costs 120. So some of the better things normally do cost a higher amount, but that's up to you to judge what is actually good or not. And it's up to you to create your own builds and to mess around with what actually works for you, because at the end of the day, the beauty of the sync grid and the sinkhole mechanic is you kind of build it to your preference. Yes, there are like meta builds that you can do, but that's not like the fun bit of the game. But to be honest, some units are just so good that a lot of the time people just end up doing the same builds over and over, because that build is just so powerful. And Swanna is definitely one of those units, and I'll explain why. So you know how I was saying earlier about the trainer abilities and Swanna being able to have potion? Well, she gets this potion MP refresh. What is MP refresh? Well, MP is the I guess it stands for move points. Potentially, I could be wrong about that, but every time you use a move, it will reduce the amount of times you can do that throughout the battle. So say I use potion once, that means I only have 1 out of 2 potions left. Well, with potion MP refresh 2, I actually get a 30% chance to go ahead and recover that potion that I just used. So it essentially means I didn't even use the ability. So I've just healed someone, but I still have 2 potions if I get lucky. So obviously I'm like, yo, that's actually kind of nice. Let me grab that real quick. Yeah, let me get that potion MP refresh. Yo, what's this? Master Healer. Increases the amount of HP restored by the user's healing moves. So not only do I have a chance of regaining my potion that I've just used, the amount I'm healing my ally is increased, and I can do it twice. So I get a 40% increase. Nah, bro, that's a bit rude. So 40% increase in healing, and I have a 30% chance to actually go ahead and not even cost that potion. Well, look at this. I get another MP refresh too. So now not only do I have 30%, another 30% means I get 60% chance to not even use my potion. And this is why Swanna becomes completely insane. Because I'm able to do this, it means that you're able to heal your units continuously if you get lucky on the drops. It is a 60% chance, it's not guaranteed or anything. 60% chance to heal, and I'm getting 40% increased healing. So yeah, as you can see from these Singrids, some units go from 0 to 100 real quick. And what I'm going to do next is I'm going to grab these nodes up here, because I'm working my way all the way up to move gauge refresh 9. Now Gust is a one spamming move, and you know how I was telling you guys earlier about how in the high level content, most of the time just ends up being about spamming these one cost moves to essentially go ahead and charge your sync special way more, because you're just reducing the cooldown over and over again. And because I'm getting move gauge refresh 9, it basically means 100% of the time that I use Gust, that cost engage is negated. So not only am I charging my Singrid, I'm keeping my gauge not even being lowered. So yeah, some units just go from 0 to 100 with Singrids, and the funnest part about this game, I feel, is unlocked when you start delving into Singrids, seeing what different builds you can do, and it doesn't even cost much to reset. So if you do a build and it doesn't work out, you can always reset. But one thing to keep in mind is, as you can see here, actually it goes away, my remaining energy is 9. So you can't pick up everything. Like you couldn't just pick up everything you wanted and all of a sudden like you have like the most broken unit. No, the remaining energy is what puts the restriction on what nodes you can and can't pick up. So since I only have 9 energy, I'm gonna try and do some math here and be like, what else can I get with 9? And obviously, you know, this take flight MP refresh might be nicer. I have a 40% chance to get take flight back. So take flight is actually a pretty good special, because it not only increases our speed, but it also increases our defense by 2. It's a +2 to speed and defense because it sharply raises. So yeah, I definitely want a chance to get one of those back. So if I do get one of those back, it means I can get +3 +6 in speed and defense, because I've used it 3 times, which is the cap. +6 is a cap to all stats. So this unit just went from 0, she became like, you know, an alright support because of the potion, but she just went from 0 to 100 with this Singrid, and now she is literally the best support in the game in my opinion. Obviously if you have Leaf, I would say she's better. Leaf is just nuts, AoE toxic, and once you start getting some of her Singrids going on, she becomes even more insane at 2 out of 3. If you're lucky to get 3 out of 3, then yeah, you're chilling for like the rest of your life. Leaf is kind of broken, so yeah, that's one thing to keep in mind. So yeah, that is kind of it for Singrids. Not really too much more I want to go into, because the more I go into it, it's kind of like just beating a dead horse at this point. Like, I'm hoping you guys from that explanation kind of get the process, kind of get the mechanics of it, and how you can make some of the units really powerful. I believe the next thing I'm going to be talking about next is most likely going to be the lucky skills and the gears, probably in one video, because those 2 subjects I don't feel will take as long, but who knows, I could be wrong and it might be another long video, so I might have to split those up. But those are probably the 2 final things I'll be talking about, and that will be it for the ultimate guide, guys. And yeah, hopefully you guys are enjoying this series. I'm having a lot of fun making it. But until the next time, guys, it's been me, Poizesto, signing out. Peace out, guys.